Welcome to day 12. Settle in, find a comfortable spot, distraction free. Turn off your phones unless you're listening on your phone. Take a deep breath in and exhale through the mouth. In order for a seed to grow into a flower, it must completely destroy itself. If you truly want to change, some other part of you needs to die. Today we are going to talk about the story that we tell ourselves. New challenges, whether chosen or imposed, force you to push yourself to learn, grow, and change. Tragedy aside, I've learned that life's challenges, life's hard things, can serve as a purpose by creating an opportunity. There are things that I've been terrible at, businesses that did not succeed. However, I pushed forward and kept trying. Our identity drives our actions. If you believe you are a person who is lazy and gives up easily, you'll be lazy and give up. And if you believe you're a person who takes action and works towards your goals and dreams without ever quitting, that's exactly what you will do. So it's all in your belief. Whatever you think you are, you are. Try thinking of your identity as related to actions and results. Your identity influences your actions, which determines your results, which feed back into your identity. Breathe that in. Man, that's powerful and that's deep. The struggle is that most people don't have an identity that lines up with the future they want to create. And thus, we end up with hard things in our life. And when your identity isn't lined up with the future that you want to create, the struggle is we end up never creating the future that we want. It's a cycle. So the only way to create the future or to create the change is to change your identity. So what is the story that you are telling yourself? Your identity is fueled by the story that you tell yourself. It's that voice in your head, my friends, that is always running in the background. A human being always acts and feels and performs in accordance with what he or she imagines to be true about himself or herself in their environment. For imagination sets the goal picture which our automatic mechanism works on. We act or fail to act, not because of will, as is so commonly believed, but because of imagination. You can also think of the story you tell yourself as a song that you hear in the morning that gets stuck in your head. Ever have that happen? I had that happen this morning. And you wind up hearing it all day. You can change the song in your head at any moment. The question is, are you ready to change the song? Most people don't change the song and listen to the same song over and over. It's not necessarily the song you want to listen to. You might even hate it, though it gets stuck in your head. And this is where we struggle. So if it's stuck there and you're used to it, it kind of feels comfortable. And that's kind of how it felt for me this morning as I laid in bed and this song was stuck in my head. Now, I happen to like the song, though at 4 o'clock in the morning, I had wished the song was not there. So this is kind of like the same as the story that we tell ourselves. So what is the story for you? Believe it or not, our identity distorts reality. It distorts our thoughts and our feelings to the point where we see only the things that confirm what we think and feel. Now, attach this to the hard that you are working through. In other words, perception is a controlled hallucination. Breathe that in. Take a deep breath in and exhale it out. So this includes the way that we exaggerate, overgeneralize, label, or filter, and think about things in terms of extremes or in black and white terms that don't line up with our reality. These false stories we tell ourselves, my friends, are almost always negative and can impact our work and relationships while holding us back from achieving what it is that we set out to achieve. So it's important to identify your story. It influences everything you do or do not do. It influences your hard. It influences the things that we create as hard. What you think about yourself, how you feel about everyone else, the importance you place on your past, and the state of your current circumstances. The story you tell yourself is the most powerful thing in the world. And your life will not change unless that story, aka your identity, changes. Are you ready to change your identity? Breathe that in. Take a deep inhale and exhale it out. Take another inhale and exhale it out. And one more. Inhale and exhale. So changing your identity begins with the actions you take. Thinking about who you want to be is only half the battle, because nothing will change if you don't change your actions. You can sit all day and try to manifest a successful future, and you still must take action to do it. The more you take action, the more your results will begin to change. And over time, that change will become your identity. And with that, my friends, are you willing to change who you are in the present moment? Are you willing to change the circumstances of your life and embrace a new identity of how you think with your thoughts and your words, and change your actions through your beliefs? So one of the best examples of what I'm talking about today is a story I heard Jesse Itzler tell about Chad Wright. You may not know either of these people. Wright is a former Navy SEAL and a current ultra runner who runs hundreds of miles. Itzler was telling Wright he had a friend who wanted to run long distances and couldn't break 5 miles. So Wright invited that friend to come run with him, and during his first run with Wright, Itzler's friend ran more than 100 miles. How? With one simple secret. Wright told him to repeat two things. The first one, listen to this. The first one, I don't quit. When you say to yourself over and over that you don't quit, guess what you don't do? Quit! You keep going. So this guy pushed himself to keep going. And the second thing he repeated was, don't give your pain a voice. Wright knew that when you run 100 miles, you will be in pain. The trick is to not talk or think about it. Instead, think of what you're grateful for. So he would stop every hour and make it a point to say what he was grateful for. And while running, he focused only on the positive. Chad Wright isn't the first person to think of this. Numerous studies have shown the significant impact of positive self-talk can have on performance. So, using that simple technique, this one normal guy went from not only being able to run more than 5 miles to running more than 100 miles in a single session. By doing that, he was able to change his identity. He was able to change who he was. Sounds simple, right? Yeah, not so much. Now, I'm not asking you to be in pain, though I am asking you to look at your hard and say, can I push past my hard to see something of gratitude? It goes back to how we think more about what we don't want rather than what we do want. What do you want out of life? And what will life look like when you take the action to get what you want? So that is the question for you, my friend. What will life look like when you take the action to get what you want? Breathe that in. I'm wishing you a beautiful day. Peace to you, and namaste. Go out and spend the day as the person that you want to become by overcoming that hard. You got this. Much love to you, my friends.